Do you all remember the Pentagon Papers? Yes. If you don't remember the Pentagon Papers, maybe you remember the more recent film, The Pentagon Papers. Yep. Some guy, didn't take his job very seriously, and or maybe he took his job too seriously. I don't know. He kind of broke the law by giving up all this information to the media. The media in question was the New York Times. Well, the Nixon administration got very unhappy with the New York Times, and they managed to get a court injunction to make the New York Times stop posting the categories and periods of the Pentagon Papers. There was a lot of them. They couldn't do it all in one print edition. Well, when the New York Times got that injunction, they worked together with the Washington Post, and the Washington Post picked it up because they did not have an injunction. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where they got the information. The lawbreaker is the person who gave it to them. Once they have it, it is information that the media has. So the Washington Post picked it up, and they got injunction against the Washington Post, and several Boston Globe, St. Louis Dispatch, lots of newspapers picked it up from there. At the end of the day, like 20 or so were doing it, and then all went back to the New York Times because at the end of the day, the Supreme Court, The Supreme Court finally ruled that, once the media has it, the media has no legal obligation to not print it. Based on that, here's the following media publication that has been shared with me. By the way, my channel is non-profit. There's not commercial uses. It's just information. It's just, sorry, Kaiser, it's the freedom of the press. Yes, I know. I'm not a Benjamin Franklin printing press, but I'm a journalist. Yes, we all are if we want to be. What does it take to be a journalist? No, it doesn't take a credential, an education. It does not take anything to be free press except for three components: observing, monitoring, and reporting. I have observed, I have monitored, and now I'm reporting.
Hello everyone. So I wanted to give an update on some of the records requests that we did at Meade County, Kentucky. The one that I'm most specifically going to be talking about today is the records requests that we submitted into the Meade County Detention Center, or jail, with J.J. Scarborough. And just to refresh your all's memory on how that encounter went, I'm going to insert a video clip of that here. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Yes, sir. We sure do.
I'm going to keep you guys here for a second until I...
Hey, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. What's your name? We won't record
We
it.
actually got visitation going on. You can't record while there's a private conversation.
Well, we won't.
going on.
When we go down here, I've got everything.
Yeah, if you'll come down here with us to
Actually,
private area.
I'm actually working with some inmates today, so
I
I
just
need
need-
to get y'all's
Okay,
request.
here.
What's your name?
I'm JJ.
JJ?
Yes.
Pleasure, buddy. I'm
I'll
Chris.
step back down here. The records are.
No, it's fine.
Hey,
We'll be
guys.
done already in a second. Just, I don't want you to leave because
Hey guys, the recording has stopped. There's a private conversation going on in here.
you can't hear
all
it.
don't
I'm
have
just
it.
giving you this. Hang on. Tiffany,
Yeah.
just show it. Get it real quick.
Yep.
We'll be real fast.
Sorry.
They have
guys.
not consented to having their conversation.
I'm not going to do their conversations whatsoever. Shut the door.
Yeah.
Shut the door.
Actually, the AC don't work in there, and that door can stand.
All right. Well, we already got them ready for you. Calm down, JJ.
No, I'm just saying.
This is for a judge, buddy.
I don't want to violate their rights.
I won't either.
We don't
I'm
violate
I'm against any violation of anyone's rights.
It's okay.
How about recording
You're
a
good.
conversation?
No. This is
I
my
don't do that.
conversation with you,
Just
JJ. I'm
submit
recording.
those, give us a stamp.
We
on
need
it
a stamped
saying that you
signature, and we'll
received
go
them.
back over there until
Thank
you're done.
you. Allowed to have their privacy during their visits, but
Says right on the door that it's
apparently the
accidentally.
AC isn't working in their visitation room.
So there should be good video of the day that we were released and the way we were treated here. I'm hoping that they have audio, but there's a couple cameras right there, and then of course on the adjacent side, same thing, right there underneath that camera. Should cover everything that happened that day on the way out. So the officer left the door adjacent to the jail.
Oh, Firm,
Anybody
I'm
could
so
escape.
sorry. I didn't.
Will you do me a favor and see what's taking so long? All we needed was a stamp on it. Thank you. Reading
Why is
it?
he reading it?
You don't need to read it, buddy.
None of his business. Tell him to stay in his lane.
Well, that was good.
Here you go, Joe.
Hey, thank you, buddy.
And I was reading these because I'm actually the records custodian. of
Oh,
this
you are? You're the
facility.
custodian of records? Okay.
So there's your paperwork. I'm going to criminally trespass you all from the building. You cannot record inside this jail while there's a private conversation going on.
I am going
and
to-
without the consent of these people. So I'm asking you nicely right now to leave.
Okay, Kentucky's a
Have a
one-party
great day.
consent state. And you need to fix the air conditioner.
Now, I'm sure that the majority of you are well aware that what JJ just did is completely unlawful. So, the first thing I want to talk about is how JJ was talking about privacy, how he wanted to respect everyone's rights and he wanted to respect everyone's privacy, specifically the people that were there to have visits with inmates. So everything that I'm reading, I'm going to insert here, but since none of my other recordings worked, this is going to have to do. So Kentucky, it is a one-party consent state, and it states, so long as one party to a conversation knows it is being recorded, the recording is legal and is not considered eavesdropping, meaning no privacy violation was made. Now, I'm sure that you all also seen where Chris pointed out not one, not two, but 3 video cameras recording the lobby of the jail. I am almost certain that everyone who comes in there to have a visit at the Meade County Detention Center is very well aware of the fact that they are being recorded. So they know that their privacy is not expected. It's not an expectation. Not to mention the fact that they are out in public. It is a public building. Let's talk about the fact that the visitation area that is supposed to be restricted specifically has a sign on it stating no audio or video recordings allowed beyond this point. And JJ was also not maintaining his building.
The AC don't work. The AC don't work in there.
So moving on to the records request response that JJ Scarborough sent out to us. He sent Chris and me 4 first-class certified packages, including each of the denials, a copy of our original records request, and 12 pages per package of YouTube information. So first things first, let's go into what he stated were his grounds for denying our records request. He says, your request to inspect these records is being denied for the following. 1, effective June 29th of 2021, only residents of the Commonwealth may request to inspect public records. And then 2, KRS 61.870 commercial purpose means the direct or indirect use of any part of a public record or records, in any form for sale, resale, solicitation, rent, or lease of a service, or any use by which the user expects a profit, either through commission, salary, or fee. And then under B, it states commercial purpose shall not include 1. Publication or related use of a public record by a newspaper or periodical. 2. Use of a public record by a radio or television station in its news or other informational purposes. Or 3. Use of a public record in the preparation for prosecution or defense of litigation, or claim settlement by the parties to such action, or the attorneys representing the parties. So, I mean, it definitely doesn't fit number 2. Number 1 is irrelevant. We did, however, claim that that was a case that we were a party to. And all of the records requests were related to us as individuals. And I'll cover that in just a second. So the ending of his records request denial says, during my review of your request, it was brought to my attention through various sources, such as Facebook, YouTube, and citizens of the county, that during your recent visit to the detention center to submit a request to review public records was used for commercial purposes. During my review of various videos posted on 2 different YouTube channels registered to you and or Tiffany Napier, I discovered the monetized video made inside the detention center lobby on 10/26/2023 when you made your request for inspection of public records. I also discovered that both channels are currently participating in YPP, YouTube Partner Program. According to YouTube policy, before a channel can be monetized, the owner of the channel must be eligible and complete necessary online YouTube Partnership Program forms to become a partner. Please see attached documents, 12 pages. So, I don't know what he was trying to do here. Maybe he was trying to show me that he's a very good investigator. I'm not certain. Make sure that you guys check out the link in the comment section below. That way you can see all of the 12 pages that JJ sent us. So I don't even want to know how much time he wasted while on the clock when he could be doing something beneficial, or how much each of these 12 copies times 4 packages cost the taxpayers. Because it was completely a waste of time, a waste of resources. Because had JJ actually looked into the Kentucky Open Records Access Laws, he would have seen KRS 61.884, person's access to record relating to him. Any person shall have access to any public record relating to him, or in which he is mentioned by name, upon presentation of appropriate identification subject to the provisions of KRS 61.878. Well, they obviously knew who we were, so, and he didn't ask for our ID. He went back and he reviewed our records request. He didn't ask for our ID. So, I'm not really sure why he is thinking that he has the lawful ability to deny us the records that we requested. So the only thing that I'm going to be able to do is file a complaint with the Attorney General. And as soon as I get that done and get a response back, I'll give you guys an update. But while I was looking into all of the stuff for Meade County, and most specifically JJ, because, you know, JJ obviously is inviting me to take a deeper look at him because he keeps on denying me and telling me that I'm doing things unlawfully, and he's not correct. I mean, of course I'm going to look further into him. I want to see how a putz like him ended up being an elected jailer at Meade County Detention Center. So while I was looking, I seen on the Meade County Detention Center Facebook site that on August 26th of 2016, Meade County Detention Center introduced a woodworking program. Now, this can be actually something really great if it's done the right way. Any of you that have created wooden projects or even refinished wooden projects know that that is a skill. Like, You have to know what you're doing, and you have to have patience to be able to do stuff like that. And these inmates, like, I'm going to post some of their work that they have done, the pictures that I took off of Meade County Detention Center's Facebook. It's absolutely amazing. There are so many talented guys that are doing stuff in the detention center, and I want to be able to share that with you guys. But it also made me question, how did they come up with the funding to get this program started? And where is the funding that they are making off of these products going to? And they are making profit off of these. There are a couple of sheds that are going for like $3,000, and the prices just vary. So you'll have to check out all of the images at the end of this video to be able to know what I'm talking about. Or, you can go on over and check out the detention center site yourself and look at everything. But it makes me wonder, how did they get it started? Where did that funding come from? And, where is the profits going to? Then on February the 12th of 2017, they expanded. They built on a whole additional building for their wood shop, which is pretty cool. But still, I would love to know where all of that money is coming from, where it's going to. And with the limited ability that I have to be able to do those records requests, it would be greatly appreciated if any of the Kentucky residents could help me out in my endeavor to try to figure out what's going on with these records. Or if you just want to do it and check it out for yourself, I absolutely encourage you to do so, because this is, Kentucky's money. This is Kentucky's tax money, specifically Meade County. So if you're a resident of Meade, definitely check into this. But while I was looking into their expansion, I seen that it was all benefit, or all attributed to the help of Mike Decker. Now, I had to go back and I had to find out who Mike Decker was. So come to find out, Mike Decker was the jailer. So it's kind of like JJ took over and they decided they were going to do this woodworking project, and Mike Decker came back in and he's helping him do all of this. So I'm kind of wondering where Mike Decker's benefit is in doing all of this. And if he's just doing it, to help the inmates, that's great. I applaud you if that's what you are doing. But it's still very questionable. I definitely need those records requests to be able to dig a little bit deeper. And then another thing that popped up that was quite interesting is the wood cutting program that they have. So in fall of 2018, it was stated that the Meade County Detention Center cleared 3 acres of woods in the back of the detention center. And they state that they used that wood and donated it to elderly and people with limited income to help them keep warm for the winter. So I would love to be able to find out more about that. I would love to see how many families they were able to help. And I would also love to see if maybe any of that wood that they're cutting down in the back of the detention center that is state property is going to the woodworking program.
Not a part of the original video. This is our commercial break. This commercial is for Regrid, the app that shows you property lines. And if you pay a little extra, you can find out more details about who owns the property and what are the purposes for the property. Well, here's a couple, 516 Courthouse and the adjacent property with all these pretty trees. Not sure how old this aerial picture is. Are those pretty trees still there? But anyway, I'm just plugging the Regrid app.
They have. And then I'd also like to know if they're allowed to cut down the trees in the back of the detention center on state property. Is that something that they would have to have special approval for? And if so, do they have that approval? If anybody can help me answer that, it would be greatly appreciated. All right, so I think that's about it for this update. Make sure that you check out the links below. That way you can go see the documents. And if you have any information to the questions that I ask, or if you have any information at all, feel free to shoot me an email at missconduct1922@gmail.com, or, leave me a comment below. And also, make sure that you check out the images at the end of this video. They are absolutely amazing craftsmanship.
Actually, I'm actually working with some inmates today. Working with some inmates today.
Don't drop him on his face. Yeah, just don't drop him on his face.
He's so enthusiastic.
Hold on. Switch on. Just my bad. After we get done with
You
you.
want one of us to?
Yeah, I sure.
Travis, you want to take a round?
I can take this side if you want.
You want him to take a round, give you a break?
Yeah, you just let him down.
Yes.
Just like we showed you in class. Just don't let him hit his face.
Let him at least get his knees down where you can ease him down a little better.
Taser, taser, taser.
Breathe. Breathe. Way to go, Mike.
Oh. Good job, brother. Look at what you're saying.
Hey, can I take my paper back, man? I'm gonna go through it.
Oh, here.
Taser, taser, taser.
Quit cussing.
The preceding is not originated by this channel or this channel owner. I didn't do it. It was taken down using the excuse it was used for commercial purposes. Wow, they are desperate. Okay, well, this is not a commercialized, that means monetized channel. So they'll need a new excuse if they hit it here. The links below, quote, the links below, end quote, mentioned in this channel are gone with the original video. For those links, note the email address noted at OMC's channel heading, in their channel heading, or earlier in this video. She actually asks you to email her. She will answer any questions or receive any new information you have on the subject. Oh, and one more thing. Please, especially if you're not monetized, please copy this content and repost it on your various social media accounts. Last thing I gotta say is cheerio.